Hey guys, this is going to be part 2 of my 4-part City of Heavenly Fire theories kind of thing. I made the first one. I was gonna check how long ago it had been since I made the first one and I didn't. It's been like 2 weeks maybe, I feel like. It's been a bit, but I want to do 4 before City of Heavenly Fire actually comes out in May. So this is the second one. The first one was kind of focused on all of the minor characters that I didn't want to make a more detailed video about. And now for the other 3 videos, I'm kind of doing groups of 4 or 3 characters. In this video, I want to focus on Maia, whose name I'm never entirely sure if I'm saying right, Jordan, Jocelyn, and Luke. And I don't think I have a whole ton to say about them, so this may be a kind of quick video. The next 2 are definitely going to be the really long ones, especially the 3rd one, because I have a lot to say. 2 things that I want to say really fast before I start talking about City of Heavenly Fire though. First of all, there's a game going on outside, like right outside of my dorm building, and you can hear the announcer, and I'm sorry. It's part of living on a college campus and having your dorm building right next to sports fields. It happens pretty much every Saturday, so you'll probably hear that at certain points in the video. It's quiet right now, but second of all, I just painted my nails and they are very messy right now because my hands don't cooperate, and this happens every time, and so yeah, that's why I'm aware that they look horrible at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna start out talking about Maia and Jordan. I never know. Okay, seriously, can't. I should have looked up how to say her name, but I don't know if it's like Maia or I think it's Maia. Like, that seems like the most logical way to pronounce it to me. I don't know, but I always pronounce things wrong, so it's not like that's new. I've always liked her as a character. I've always been like really fond of her. And at first, when Jordan got introduced and we kind of found out his background, I was kind of iffy on them getting together again because of what happened last time. Like, I know that that wasn't him necessarily, but yet it was, and it kind of made me uncomfortable, them as a couple. But in the last book, they really grew on me and as a couple, and I kind of love them together now, and that worries me going into the last book because it's like another couple that I have to worry about being okay throughout the entirety of the book. So I'm a bit worried what's going to happen with them in the last book, but they're kind of like Clary and Jace in the fact that I'm not at all worried about, like, there's no pressure for them to get together, they're already together, and I'm not worried about them breaking up in the book. What I am worried about is one or both of them dying, because they're kind of on the fringes a bit in the fact that they're not main characters, but they're more predominant than a lot of the other secondary characters, so they're kind of like in this weird in-between state where they're not main characters, but they're also not really, they have larger parts, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if they died, it wouldn't really be devastating to a good deal of people, but it would be emotional. And so since we know that 6 named characters are going to die, I'm pretty much for this entire video going to be talking about everyone potentially dying. So I am really worried about both of them, and kind of especially Jordan though. If I was going to have to pick one of them to die, not that I want them to die, but who I think is going to die, I would probably choose Jordan. He seems like a good candidate to kill off, which would really suck because they just got back together in the last book, and to then have one of them die would be really sad, but I can also see it happening. So I am kind of mentally prepared for that, probably more than I am any of the other characters except Sebastian. Sebastian's going to die. I'm like so sure of that. But as far as like the good guys go, I'm probably most prepared for Jordan dying. One, because it wouldn't bother me. I don't want to say it wouldn't bother me, but it wouldn't, as far as if any of the characters have to die, I would probably choose him, but I also really don't want him to die because I don't want to break them up when they just got back together. But I do think that if someone had told me you have to kill off one of these characters, it gave me like I don't know. I don't know how, in comparison to most of the characters in the book, the good characters, he would probably be the one that I would... My camera just died, so I hope that didn't cut off too awkwardly. But point is, I can see Jordan dying, I can see Maya dying too, but Jordan more so, and it would be really sad to me because I feel bad about them dying when they just got together, but at the same time, if it has to be anyone, I would prefer them over other characters, which I feel bad saying, but it's true. And I really think that that's all that I have to say about the two of them, because I don't really have any other idea in mind of what can happen with them in the book. I'm sure they'll be in the book and probably do important things. I mean, they did important things in the last book and whatnot, so I'm sure that they'll be important in this book, but I don't really have any big predictions for what's going to happen with them. I just kind of see them doing pretty much what they did in the last book in this book, I think, and I can't think of anything major that I really think is going to happen besides one or both of them possibly dying. So moving on to Luke and Jocelyn, obviously I am pretty sure that they're going to get married in this book. They've been engaged for what, like at least two books now. My timeline's really bad, but Cassandra Clare, there's a slight spoiler for something Cassandra Clare said like a week and a half ago maybe. She released the information that we're going to have 2 weddings in City of Heavenly Fire, which has been driving me insane ever since, because obviously one of them has to be Luke and Jocelyn because they're already engaged. They had their engagement party already and we're still waiting for them to actually get married. So one of these 2 weddings has to be Luke and Jocelyn's. But then, like, who else is going to get married? It's driving me insane. We don't have any other engaged couple, so it has to be someone who's not engaged. And I mean, like, there's always the possibility that it could be some random people that we don't even like know yet getting married, but I don't know. There are so many possibilities with that, and I can't even begin to try and figure out who the second wedding is going to be. But we're talking about Luke and Jocelyn, and they are most definitely going to be one of the weddings. Like, there is no way. Even before we got the 2 weddings information, I was almost positive that we would see their wedding in this book, just because it's the final book. They've been engaged for a while. It makes sense to show us their wedding in this one. Also because I think that Luke and Jocelyn's wedding is an awesome opportunity to have some sort of showdown kind of thing with Sebastian, because Sebastian really hates Jocelyn, like to the point that he doesn't even consider her his mother, which I mean, she didn't raise him or anything, so that kind of does make sense, but like, he doesn't even seem to want, I mean, I really think that Sebastian is going to try and kill her, or at least really hurt her over the course of this book, because he seems very bitter about the fact that she abandoned him, even though she thought he was dead. He seems I feel as if Sebastian has a lot of hate, and I'm going to talk about Sebastian in a later video, but just focusing on his relationship with Jocelyn right now. You can tell from the one kind of interaction we had between the 2 of them that he really has a lot of pent up feelings towards her, and I really think that Luke and Jocelyn are going to get married and something is going to happen with Sebastian in connection to the wedding. Obviously, Sebastian is not going to be invited to the wedding. I can see him crashing it and commenting on that about she didn't invite her own son to the wedding, and then getting really angry and something happening between them. I definitely think that's going to happen. He may or may not crash the wedding, but I could definitely see that happening. And I definitely think that's going to happen. I definitely think that Luke and Jocelyn are going to get married, and then Sebastian will show up and something will happen in connection to the wedding. The only thing is, okay, I completely lost my train of thought. I had something else I was going to say, and then it just completely left my mind right as I was saying it. Okay, I remembered. I was going to comment on, I didn't know when in the book the wedding was going to be. I don't know, because we've been waiting for the wedding for so long that I could see it being in the beginning of the book. I don't know if there's going to be a time skip between the last book and this book, or if it's going to immediately flow from that book to this book. But I think there is. I'm pretty sure we've seen enough to know there's a slight time gap at least, but I don't know how long. We might have gotten that information, I just don't know about it. But I can see the wedding being at the beginning since it's kind of been built up, but I can also see it being at the end and being kind of like, if something really big happens with Sebastian at the wedding, it could be kind of like the finale, although I don't really think that will happen so much. I am probably leaning towards it being in about the middle of the book. I don't know why, that's just kind of like a feeling I have, but I don't know if we're going to have a good deal of the book with Luke and Jocelyn already married or not. And I think that is interesting, but I don't know how that's going to go, but I am completely positive that we will be seeing them get married at some point in the book. And of course I have to talk about how likely I think it will be that they die. I could see them dying more Luke than Jocelyn. I could see Luke dying, but I also don't think it's that likely. As far as all of the characters go, I think they're pretty unlikely to die, kind of. I don't know. If one of them was going to die, I think it would be Luke. I just can't see Jocelyn dying, because of Clary mostly. I guess it could happen, but I don't really think it will. I don't really know why. I just can't imagine Jocelyn dying. I can kind of imagine Luke dying, but I'm not sure how likely that is. I kind of see them both making it out, but I don't know. If one of them was going to die, I think it would be Luke, though. And I don't really know why I think that, but I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I have to say for them. I kind of feel I don't have any like big predictions other than they're definitely getting married, and then I don't really think they're going to die except possibly Luke. But I just kind of see Jocelyn being very important with Sebastian, obviously because she's his mom and he's going insane, and I feel as if that will be important, the connection, because like I said, he definitely has some very, very strong feelings of hatred towards her, and she isn't too fond of him either, and so I really want that to be a big deal in this book, and I really want that kind of because that has so much potential to just be an awesome kind of aspect of the book, the dynamic between Jocelyn and Sebastian and how that plays out, because we already have the whole Sebastian and Clary thing that's been focused on a lot, and I really think that Jocelyn needs to be brought into that with Sebastian, and I think that has a lot of potential, so I really hope that happens. But with Luke, I'm not so sure about anything. Like, I don't have any big predictions. Obviously he'll be in the book and I'm sure he'll play an important role, but I don't really have like anything huge that I'm really thinking about happening with him other than him getting married, which is pretty big. But yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. I'm pretty sure I rambled for longer than I actually expected to. I'm really scared about filming part 3 of this though, because I have so much to say over the characters that I put in there that I almost feel as if I need to split this into 5 parts instead, but I don't think that I could get that up before the book's out. So we're gonna stick with 4, and the next part of this may be extremely long. So we'll see, but I will see you guys later. Bye.